Welcome to Stan the Wine Man TV. I am your host, Stan Rattan, and this is the Blue Collar Wine Show, where I help you spend your wine dollars wisely. I'm very excited about this episode. I have some brand new wines. I've never seen them before. They're from Spain, Bodega Ego, and I'm very excited. And they're all $14 and under, which is really cool. One of the things I'm excited about is that most of the wines that I have a pick of the month at the end of the aisle, wine aisle. I put a new wine up there every month. Of course, pick of the month, duh. And 60 to 65% of those wines come from Spain. I think some of the best values in the world can be found in Spain. So I'm super excited about these wines. They're all from the region of Murcia, and the DO is Jumilla. So Jumilla is one of the three DOs in Murcia, which the other one is Yecla, and I think it's Bulas, are the other two DOs in that Murcia region of Spain, which is southeast. Now it's not right on the Mediterranean, it's a little inland, so it gets that continental type climate. So it's hot, dry, and harsh. So it's a strange place to be growing grapes, but you know what? That's what Eastern Washington is like. I mean, 104 degrees in Jumilla is not uncommon. It's also not uncommon in Eastern Washington. Grapes seem to thrive off of harsher conditions. Now, the cool thing about Jumilla, spelled Jumilla, they don't say their J's or their L's, so it's Jumilla, is that it's predominant, it has a ton of lime in the soil in this area. So lime helps retain moisture. So they get very little rain, but the rain that they do get is retained in the soil for these grapevines. It has a mountain range that runs, I believe, east to west, that runs through Murcia. And so it's a lot of valleys with some elevation, and in those elevations, of course, relieve some of the vines of some of the heat. This DO, Jumilla, is one of the oldest in the Murcia region. It was established in 1966. Now it became really, really big when the phylloxera hit France. And so a lot of the French sought out the Jumilla wines because they're predominantly Monastrell. 80% of the vines planted in Murcia are Monastrell, which is a thick-skinned dark grape. So the French really sought after it. Well, in 1989, Jumilla got hit with phylloxera. But that was a good thing in a way because it helped them to refocus and modernize their techniques. And they started making a little lighter style wines. So we're going to try these wines. I always like the wines from Jumilla. So we're going to get started right off the bat with this one. It is the Bodega Ego Bodega Goru. Now this is 61% Monastrell, 54% Syrah, and 5% Petit Verdot. So very interesting blend. This is a... see, where's the vintage? Always cracks me up. So 2016. Here's the label. El Goru. There you go. Shout out to Josh, one of my sales reps. He turned me on to these wines, and I'm very curious to try them. Now he seems to be excited about them, which is good because I think Josh has a great palate. So I am excited about them. 90 points, James Suckling. It's a little sticker on the front. A lot of wineries like to do that. Almost a candy-esque nose. I get a little bit of a boysenberry. And boysenberry and a touch of currants, but it's kind of candy, like hard candy. You get a little touch of earth underneath that fruit, but I can't get over the candy-esque smell on this wine. Let's see what we get on the palate. Very smooth, a little bit of minerality on the back end, but this is a smooth, polished wine. Definitely boysenberry, red flower notes, which I really like. Kind of gives that a lift, good acidity. That candy essence comes through. A little minerality on the backside. This is like, I always, my pick of the month, one of the criteria I use, it has, I feel like 80% of the people. Now, some white pepper is coming through on the back end. 80% of the people will most likely like this wine. It's just something I've developed over the years, understand what people like. This is an 80% wine. The red flowers, smooth tannins, minerality on the backside, a little bit of pepper coming through right on the back end, a long finish. I get boysenberry, big time, with that red flowers. I get a little bit of that, not cough syrup, yeah, maybe a little bit like the old-fashioned cough syrup, you know, that they poured in the spoon and your mom put in your mouth. Now, a lot of you might be too young to remember that, but my mom used to pour this little medicine in my mouth, and there's just a little hit of that on the mid-palate. The only thing about this wine that doesn't bother me, I think it is an 80% wine. I think 80% of people like it. It's just somewhat simple. You know, did I give the price? $12. $12. Great label, by the way. I don't know if you could see that very well. $12. 14.5 alcohol. I don't feel just barely the heat on the backside. You know, I like this wine. It's a little simple. But it's solid. I mean, really, most of you would love this one. I like the finish is nice and long. I'm going to go straight up B on this. I think it has great qualities, well made, polished, good, shows a lot of the minerality of the Jumilla region. I like the red flowers. I like the balance of acidity that gives it a little bit of a lift in the mouth. I like that wine. B. I'm going to straight up B on that. Now, let's move on. This Bodega Ego 2017 Marionette is what they call it. Marionette. 50% Monastrell, 50% Syrah. This one too is 14.5 alcohol, $12. Now $12, you know, that's great values. Yeah, I like that one. Il Goru. Good stuff. Got a little bit of that Petit Verdot in it. This is just straight up 50-50 Monastrell Syrah. If they to call it a straight up Monastrell, which you'll see a lot of from Jumilla, it has to be at least 80% Monastrell. Let's see what we get on the nose. Marionette. Good color. Sorry I didn't show you. Sometimes I miss that part. Nice and dark. A little bit of red coming through there. See what we get on the nose. Now this is interesting. My first initial attack was chocolate. I get a little bit of that like dried beauty bark. Well, beauty bark is dry. Somewhat challenged, but those earth notes come through big time. And once again, I get that kind of a candied boysenberry thing coming through, which I find quite interesting. Let's see what we get on the palate. Much deeper on the palate than the first one. Again, really, really smooth. Big boysenberry notes coming through on this one as well. I get a little touch of currant. A little bit of tobacco comes through right on the back of the finish. A little bit of violet action coming through, which I really like. There's a hit of violet right on the mid palate going into the finish. This has a little bit of minerality that comes through. on the back side. You can kind of get that minerality coming through, which I like. This one is a little bit more complex than the first one. This one too, easily an 80+% wine. I think a lot of people are going nuts for this one. This got 90 points in the decanter right on the front there. You got violets, red flowers, tobacco, boysenberry, a little bit of currant. Yeah, great bottle of wine. I'm going to go B+, A- on that wine. $12. This one really delivers. Delivers a ton. I like it a lot. Let's move on. This is the 215, way down here underneath the horse's hoof. Fuerza from Bodega Ego. 14.5 alcohol as well. This is 75% Monastrell, 25% cap. So you see they're 5% away from being able to call it a Monastrell straight up. In the US, it has to be 75% of one varietal, call it that. This rolls in at $14. Cool labels on these guys. Fuerza. So if it's a cap like this, if this was a Monastrell in the US, it would be called Monastrell if they wanted to, because it's 75%. But there it has to be 80%. $14. 75, 25, 75 Monastrell, 25 cab. Let's see what we get on the nose. Once again, candied, hard candy. This one, 90 points Wine Spectator, and it says 12 months of premium oak barrels. So you see, you get a little bit of that mocha vanilla thing on the backside of the nose with the, I get currants and boysenberry again. But you can definitely smell that oak treatment on this in the wine. It's a little bit older too, it's 2015. Let's see what we get on the palate. Did I tell you it was $14? Yes. Big time currants on this one. Get a little bit of that kind of mocha thing coming through on the palate. And the blackberry, boysenberry currant element coming through big time on the mid palate into the finish. Again, smooth. These guys are into smooth wines. I mean, if you don't like tannins, even with the oak treatment, the oak tannins are very subtle on this one. This is good balance, good integration of the oak and the fruit, and a little bit of minerality on the backside. I get a little leather component coming through right at the back end. Again, a little bit of red flower coming through as well. That mocha, almost vanilla, not quite, but just mostly mocha, a little bit of vanilla coming through, but it's not overpowering. Yeah, nicely made wine. A little bit of tobacco coming through on the back side of this one. Very polished, but complex at the same time. It certainly isn't smooth for the sake of smooth. I think this is just a style the winemaker likes. He likes to make them smooth, which is great. Very, very slight hit of spice and black pepper on the back side of this one. Right? I'm still tasting it. Excuse me, which is a really cool thing. Yeah. This baby over delivers for $14. I'm going to go B+, A- on this one as well. I like that finish. Really kind of earthy tobacco, a little bit of tar coming through on that. I like that a lot. So these two are exceptional. This one's very good. Nice episode. Excited to try these wines. Hope you get the chance to get your hands on some. I mean, 14 and under, those are good values. Thanks for taking a little time out of your day. I know you're stuck at home. I hope I'm giving you something fun to watch and educational. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Tell your friends about this. I'm getting more and more subscribers. I like it. I'm excited. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about this program. You keep watching, and I'll keep helping you spend your wine dollars wisely.